Good evening, people. My name is Detroit Miracle, and I'm coming to you from on the spot at home. Now, what is big news here and now in this day and age? Meaning recently. Oh, yeah, a lot of things as usual. But specifically, everyone is talking about that submarine that went down while it was on a mission to take the passengers to visit the Titanic wreck. Yeah, those men in that submarine apparently had paid a lot of money to take a trip to the bottom of the ocean in order to see the remains of the Titanic. But at some point, something went incredibly wrong and the submarine imploded. So it sunk to the bottom of the ocean. And then after a while, the passengers ran out of air and died. Yeah, it was so incredibly sad that way. But many people die every single day. A lot of people die every day. Look at the urban communities where so many people get killed, so many innocent people and not so innocent people. Look at the wars that happen around the world and all over the world where so many people are killed. So there are people that would say, well, the only reason why everyone is up in arms over that submarine accident is because the people killed were white. Yes, they were in fact 5 white men, but I disagree. I don't really think it's completely the case where people are just so in a sorrow because 5 white guys died. It isn't that. People, the real reason that the whole nation and the whole world is sort of in a panic and shock over those men dying in that submarine is because they were rich. Yeah, folks, 5 incredibly rich men died at one time, and that is the true shock of it. Think about it. The majority of people that are dying out there are poor. Yes, they are in the majority. And then middle class would be the next classification of people that die in abundance of a particular number. And then lastly, rich people die here and there and every now and then. So yeah, people, that is the truth. Everybody is shocked because 5 incredibly rich men died in one time. And people are like, really, in the back of their minds, oh, how could it be? Those men had a lot of money, so that wealth should have given them more protection. It should have even given them more common sense. People would feel that way, but I would say in a religious way, what were their relationships with God? You have to look at that. Were they favored by God? Did those men go to church? I know that is another thing, but it is also something to consider. Now, people are like, wow, Detroit Miracle, you're right. That is the true reason why people are in a shock over those men's untimely deaths is because they were incredibly rich. That's all you hear people talk about. If you listen to the interviews and statements, they keep saying that the men were rich. The guys were rich that died. And in fact, those men paid $250,000 each to take that trip to the bottom of the ocean. And when you go so far down on the ocean, you cannot come back up because of the pressures of it. So those men in that submarine didn't intend to go all the way to the bottom. They only intended to go so far enough to view the Titanic wreckage. Yeah, folks. Like when in society you will find that people put rich people on the top of the food chain and also the top of the totem pole. And in fact, rich people do have a higher living expectation than people who are not rich because rich people can afford to live in safer, protected communities. Rich people can afford to eat healthy meals. Rich people can also afford better health care and better clean living. Yeah, folks. And rich people, of course, drink the best liquors. We know in all the liquor stores in the ghettos, they serve poor people the most strongest, potent alcoholic beverages. So they're trying to kill us all. Yeah, and I include me because I stayed in the hood too for long periods and I used to drink. But the docs took me off the hard stuff, so I had to give it up. Yeah, folks, that is the serious case with it all. Yeah, it's more than just race. Yeah, I know if it would have been five rich guys that died in the submarine, it wouldn't have been such a big major issue as it is with five rich guys dying. But if it was five-star athletes that were immensely popular that died, it would be so much sorrow spread all over the place. Look at when Kobe Bryant and his daughter died. That was like an international tragedy. And Kobe Bryant was very rich too, immensely. And that was part of the shock as well. Not that he just died from being a popular celebrity, but Kobe Bryant was incredibly rich. So that's part of the shock value, people. You don't think it is. You don't think it's much of an issue, but it is because rich people do not die abundantly each and every day or night like poor people do. So and especially when a rich celebrity dies, people are like up in arms because they're both famous and rich. You know, they have fame, notoriety, and wealth. Yeah, people look at money immensely as some kind of safe haven, covering, and protective substance which keeps you safe, healthy, alive, and kicking well. But that ain't always the case because very rich people or very rich and immensely wealthy people do die. All you have to do is research it. And very rich and famous people die as well. And then people like to put a conspiracy theory to it because they don't believe it can happen. They don't think it's possible that somebody famous and rich can die of natural causes or unnatural causes. So they always have to come up with something like, oh, the rich person isn't dead, they were cloned, or they just simply faked their death and disappeared. But that is another story. Okay, so another thing is with those five guys that died on that submarine, that was a case where those rich people probably ran out of things to do. Yeah, so they wanted to try something new. If you think about it, there's only so many trips you could take to Las Vegas or Hollywood, California, and eventually you would get bored with that. But I won't, you know. I can hang out on the beach all day or at one of those other type of themes, and I will not get bored or tired of those, you know. And people, you only have one life to live as you know it, so you must make the right decisions and not put yourself and others in unnecessary danger if you do not have to. Now, if you have to run into a burning building to save a woman or children, then that is a noble reason why to put yourself in danger. But don't put yourself in some type of tin can submarine and go off on some type of strange mission. Hey, watch the Titanic on TV. I don't have to go to the bottom of the ocean to see it. Just turn on some type of history program or a documentary on the Titanic. Hey, but I'm not trying to tell people what to do and what not to do. But in a way, I am as far as both goes. You must recognize the danger in things that you do. Okay, folks, thanks for tuning in, and please share my video, put some likes on it, and feel free to comment. And I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, which is Detroit Miracle. Peace out.